Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Okay, so no intro equals serious video. This is a serious video today of some things that have come out from the Ballinger family, from Colleen Ballinger's family. Y'all listen, if you watched my video yesterday, my hour and 28-minute Q&A that I did, so many people watched it. I want to say I really appreciate it. The watch time is really long. I don't know, maybe you guys were trying to wait till the very end to hear the last bit of gossip that I dropped about the voice notes in the last few minutes. But anyway, I appreciate you guys watching me talk about how I came up with the name Boo Radley for our little dog, and on and on and on. But if you watched my video yesterday, you know that I said, you are warned. That was my thumbnail. I said, you are warned, because whenever I go on vacation, major stuff starts popping off, and I just cannot get a day of vacation to be able to just relax and hang out without something popping off. And we are in San Diego, California. My brother-in-law is getting married this week, and so we're out here. My husband is actually right over here working on his computer right now. He just flipped me off anyway. So we're like working back to back. See, like, we're working husbands. So anyway, he was just in a Zoom meeting, and so I went down and got some coffee, and then I was like, okay, I was like looking up all this stuff because I wanted to make sure that I had my facts correct, and I was watching Adam McIntyre's videos covering this whole situation about comments that Jessica Ballinger has come out and made about her brother-in-law Trent Ballinger and Colleen Ballinger. And you know, as I'm sitting there and I'm watching all this kind of stuff go down, and in all honesty, I have to tell you that the last time that I went on vacation, well, in August I went on vacation to go visit my book club partner, but in June when I went on vacation for my birthday, Colleen Ballinger came out with her ukulele video. And so I really thought this week, I thought, okay, a lot of people are speculating that Colleen Ballinger wasn't going to come out and speak until after Adam McIntyre was 21. Adam McIntyre turned 21 on the 30th. Happy birthday, Adam! He already knows that I said that in like 15 videos and texted him and stuff. But anyway, and so people were speculating that Colleen Ballinger wasn't going to come out and speak until Adam McIntyre turned 21 for legal reasons and things like that. I had even talked to Adam about that. I don't know how much truth there is in that, but I really honestly thought that maybe this was the week that Colleen Ballinger was going to come out and speak. And I have to tell you, and kind of looking at all this go down, the most unlikely person to speak about this, and I will tell you, everything that I have learned about the Colleen Ballinger family, the Ballinger family, I have learned, which is interesting because Adam, in his first video that he did, talking about these comments that Jessica Ballinger, who is Colleen Ballinger's sister-in-law, put out, and she and her husband, Colleen Ballinger's brother, they have a family channel called the Ballinger Family, and he referred to them as the Von Trapp family because of it, you know, being all these kids and stuff. And I was, as I was sitting there watching Adam's Family, I was thinking to myself, when you know the notes to sing, you can sing most anything. I used to love the movie The Sound of Music when I was growing up as a kid. Now we know that very large families are kind of bizarre. And I was sitting here thinking about it, you know, as somebody that is now covering Welcome to Plathville over on my reality TV channel. And for all of you that have subscribed to my new channel, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it so much. But you know, I watched all of these like documentaries about these huge families, and I was like, this is, you know, the whole like how deep this whole situation goes with Colleen Ballinger and then her brother Trent and her sister and Corey DeSoto, her friend, and her brother and sister-in-law being a family channel. I mean, this is literally like the Duggars 2.0. It really is. If you guys watched the documentary about the Duggars, I think it was on Hulu, there's a lot of kind of the same kind of protectiveness and, you know, this getting together as a family and deciding what next step we're gonna make, and, you know, using family members to market themselves and all this kind of stuff, all for the end result of money. And I'm like, this is like, we're talking about like, they should come out with a documentary and call it the Miranda Sings Savior Complex, because it's kind of like, everybody can go down except for Colleen Ballinger, because if Colleen Ballinger goes down, then nobody else in the family has a career, you know, and nobody else can make any money. So we have to protect Colleen at any expense. Like, that's the end result, right? Like, Colleen Ballinger cannot go down because everything within the family depends on Colleen Ballinger. And Colleen Ballinger is the one that has all these major allegations against her, right? But let's talk about Trent, the brother. Let's talk about this, which I think it's important that Jessica came out and spoke about Trent. But let's talk about this, let's talk about that, let's put it off on this person, let's deflect the attention off this, let's blame the victims, let's do all this kind of stuff, right? Instead of actually taking a look at what it is. And, you know, I think it would have been interesting if early on, and if the family and friends, you know, since JoJo Siwa was brought into this, like JoJo Siwa came out and, you know, they, you know, the amount of people that continue to follow Colleen Ballinger and James Charles, like, I don't know how, with the allegations that are out there, you know, that you guys are able to sit by there and be okay with this. Many of you guys that have kids, like, if this exact same situation happened to you with your kids, you would literally be losing your minds. Like, you would be the people on Facebook starting Facebook groups, okay, for your child and taking this person down. But then you're also the same people that are leaving on Colleen Ballinger's family's, you know, their YouTube videos, things like, we never believe any of this. There's literally evidence, okay? There's literally proof that Colleen Ballinger was saying these things, that Corey DeSoto was saying these things, that Trip Ballinger was saying these things. And you guys still come out and you say, oh, I don't believe it at all, you know? When it was your kid, if it was your younger brother or sister, you guys would literally be losing your minds and shouting it from the mountaintops. I think that's the thing that's the most baffling for me, right? Is, you know, people want to throw on this word parasocial relationship. I don't even know that I think it's that, right? I think it's this whole idea of, you know, just this idolship of somebody that you don't even know and will probably never meet unless you pay $100 at a meet and greet for, and then they're going to give you 30 seconds to a minute of their time, and you're going to fawn over them and then keep that picture up in your room until you're 50 years old. Like, and you're willing to defend that person over sexual inappropriate allegations with minors. Like, to me, it is just, it's unbelievable, and it's absolutely baffling. Like, I do not understand it. And to the influencers that continue to stand out there, stand with them, you know, for the JoJo Siwas, for, you know, the Manny MUAs, for the Joy Graceffas that have never come out and spoken about it, for the Jacqueline Hills that follow all these people, to all those people. I had to unfollow somebody yesterday that I didn't even realize, that I've been friendly with for years, that I didn't even realize still follow James Charles and Colleen Ballinger, and I was like, okay, like, I can't with this, right? The fact that you are okay with following these people and supporting them, and do not even come to me for 1 second and say, well, why is it their job to unfollow these people? The question should be to those people, why are you okay to still follow those people? Like, what is it about this? We're not talking about forgiveness. We're not talking about forgetting this. Okay, these people are not coming out and asking forgiveness. If Colleen Ballinger was coming on a video and she was taking accountability and she was addressing the victims by name, okay, I don't give a fuck what the legal implications were. If she was getting in a video, okay, and addressing the victims by name and taking accountability for it and asking for forgiveness from the victims and doing the things that they have asked, like contact their family members and give them private and public apologies, and she was getting in a video, not hiding and running, okay, whatever the legal recourse is, and she was asking for forgiveness from her fans and audience, then maybe I would kind of just a little bit understand some of the stance. But she's not even asking for that, okay? Her family isn't even asking for that. You guys are just willingly handing over forgiveness to somebody that is not deserving of it and is not asking for it, okay? So I'm confused about this whole thing, like, we forgive you, we don't believe it, blah, 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 whatever. Are they asking you to do that? Like, she's literally not come out and said anything except for a ukulele video, which, to be quite honest with you, which a huge FU to all of the fans that have stuck by her and to the people that have come out as victims. That was a huge FU, even to her audience, okay? That was saying, you don't even deserve this. You know, to all the people out there that want to say unbothered queen over sexual allegations of inappropriate conversations with minors, like, this is baffling to me. This is why, like, this is not YouTube drama. This is not pop culture drama. This is very, very serious, okay? And the fact that you guys want to throw terms around like unbothered queen, we don't believe, this is not a believe it or not believe it kind of situation, okay? There is definitive evidence that has been out there that is not doctored, that many reputable people have come out and talked about, okay? I mean, Swoop in her documentary series has covered this and 4th and 5th and 6th time checked these things. So to come out and say that you don't believe it is ignorance on your part, okay? What you are doing is you are turning a blind eye, okay, to something that is very, very serious. And if you're okay with that, then I don't understand, I don't get that. And I don't know what that says about your own character. That you are willing to defend somebody that you do not know, that you will never meet, and you will never know on a personal level unless you're under the age of 18 years old and they hit you up in your DMs, okay? So for me, it's baffling. I just don't understand this, right? But I honestly thought that this week, Colleen Ballinger would come out with a statement. Now, I have to tell you, the least likely person that I thought that would come out and speak was Jessica Ballinger, the sister-in-law of Colleen Ballinger that has this family channel. And I'm gonna tell you what right now, okay? Since I'm starting to look into this whole situation, and Colleen Ballinger has been criticized for using her kids in videos, and the Ballinger family has been highly criticized for using their kids in videos, and all this kind of stuff, and people have been begging me for months and months and months to start talking about family channels, I'm gonna start talking about family channels, okay? Because listen, I ain't gonna ever fucking have no kids, okay? So I can come for them all day long, all right? Because what you're doing is you're using your kids, and it's just like the Duggars, and it's completely inappropriate. And people don't have any problem calling out the Duggars, but you guys will stand by these family channels left and right and be like, oh, well, this is okay, and that's okay, and whatever. They are 4-year-old, 6-year-old, 10-year-old, 12-year-old children, okay, growing up, going through maturity, and they have no choice in the matter whatsoever of whether or not they choose to be on these videos and have these very personal moments shared. And when you watch documentaries like the Duggars, or when you show certain situations like this, you know, that these are very sensitive times and moments for these kids, that they don't even have a choice and a decision in that, you know? Like, I don't understand that. Like, it's baffling to me. So, and listen, and don't come out here and talk to me about, well, you're just a hater, and you've got to... I have no investment in the game of Colleen Ballinger, okay? I could give a fuck if she closes shop tomorrow. I really could. And quite frankly, I think she should, you know? And I've got my own fair share of haters and stalkers. Listen, I just had to deal with a situation yesterday as soon as we landed in San Diego, okay? And somebody thought that they wanted to get cute, and they wanted to send to somebody, okay, some court documents that involved me. Now, what was interesting about this, and I'll just share this with all of you haters out there, okay? Be very careful what you're putting out there into the world. Because this person that thought they were getting in with me actually helped me out a lot, because they found information I didn't even know was out there, okay, about me. And I was like, so I had to, you know, call attorneys, call this person. I was like, oh wow, like they helped me. Like, I did not know that, okay, so, you know, for all these people out there that are trying to like throw the accident in my face yet again, thank you for bringing this. You read the information wrong, okay? Just so you know. You read the information wrong. You were inaccurate in what you read and what you thought you were trying to prove. But thank you for bringing that to my attention, because it was a huge weight off my shoulders yesterday. So that's all I'll say. More will be coming with that, by the way. I'm compiling a list of things that I am able to talk about and things I'm not able to talk about, since people want to keep on throwing this up in my face, which I think is disgusting. So, let me tell you what happened. Okay, so a couple days ago, I think it was 2 days ago, I noticed that Becky, one of the victims of Colleen Ballinger, she put out a Twitter statement, and on Twitter, this is how I first saw about it, then Adam started making these videos, and she put out, which date was this? Okay, I guess this was yesterday. Well, it was 2 days ago, because it was 18 hours yesterday when I tweeted, or I copied it. She said, the Ballinger family has finally decided to talk, and it's just hidden in the YouTube comments. Is this a joke? LMAO. And then somebody responded to her and said, she also proceeds to like comments and agreeing that Colleen didn't do anything wrong, all while admitting she knew Trent was an issue. Okay, so let me see if I can read some of these comments. I have these comments like screenshot from several different places. Like, this is one of the comments that Jessica Ballinger, and Adam said something in his video. He goes, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But he goes, it seems like she's had a little too many glasses of wine and she got on here and started making all these comments. I was like, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, this is one of my girlfriends, okay? Not one of my sober girlfriends. This is like somebody that I know on the Facebook that I went to high school with, you know, that lights a good candle on the patio and then has like 4 glasses of the Kendall Jackson and sits out there and starts taking pictures and going off about how they're the best friend in the entire world and they're going to unfriend all these people because of their political beliefs and shit like that. That's what I thought, like, when I was reading it. I was like, is Jessica Ballinger, like, have the kids, like, been too stressful today because they didn't want to make the video she wanted them to make, okay, Mrs. Duggar? And so she, she took to the wine a little bit, and then she got real lippy with her comments. Because I went back and I was looking for these comments on the YouTube videos, and if they're there, I cannot find them, okay? Because they had a lot of likes and things on them, and they're not like on the top comments. I cannot find the comments. So either she went back and she deleted them, or they're there and I don't see them. So I don't know how that is. But anyway, one of the comments that she liked, I'm just gonna have to read the evidence that I have it in order, because I just want to make sure that I get all this out. So I don't know what order it's in, but one of the comments that she liked was, please take care of yourselves and tell Colleen that all of us don't see her as a predator. I'm worried about her, sending all of you lots of love. Well, I don't know who you are, but don't speak for me, okay? First of all, when you say that all of us don't see her as a predator, I do. I 100% do. So I don't know who all of you are, okay, out there. You know, that's like, y'all remember that movie? This is one of my favorite Christmas movies of life. And yes, I do go off on tangents, but they do have a point. Do you remember that movie? When I was a little kid, and it was called 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house. And it was about little mice, and the little mice lived underneath the town of the people. And they had this clock that was going to go off, and it was going to bring in Santa Claus to their town, and they were all excited about it. And then the one mouse that was like real smart, he like wrote a letter to Santa Claus and said, and we don't believe in you. Signed to all of us. And then, so Santa Claus said that he wasn't going to come to their town anymore, and they all went crazy because Santa Claus thought that all of them from that town didn't believe in him anymore. Okay, first of all, if you're saying that I'm ruining this for your children right now, this is not a video for your children to be watching, okay? It's not. It's fucking not. This is not a video that your 4-year-old needs to be watching right now, okay? And all of my videos are marked not for children, just so you know, okay? And just so your children's children know, and just so your mothers know, okay? So anyway, I don't know who you're saying all of us don't believe. Are you saying that you don't? Just say it. Stand behind with your full chest and say, I do not believe that Colleen Ballinger is a predator. Okay. Well, that's fine. Say that, okay? Sit there and say that you don't believe it. Now, what Jessica Ballinger is saying is she don't believe it either, okay? She doesn't believe that with all the evidence out there that she has seen with her own eyes, because she later says that she has seen all of the allegations, okay? Which she calls alleged. She goes, show me the proof. Show me the proof. What more proof do you need, okay? You've literally seen Colleen Ballinger. If Colleen Ballinger can prove to the contrary that these group chats and the discussions that she was having were not true and they are alleged, why is Colleen Ballinger not coming out with her attorneys and addressing this? They came out and addressed the fact that when she was accused of blackface, she was actually having green face from a wicked act. They've addressed that. They've addressed other things. Why is Colleen Ballinger not coming out and addressing the fact that there's no truth whatsoever to these group notes? Okay, these group chats. Oh, because there is truth to it. So you do know that those are truth, okay? But God forbid, all right, we ruin the money train that is Colleen Ballinger. And you know, and I've said this before and using this as an analogy, what's interesting is when you watch the documentary about Whitney Houston, I think it's called Whitney, a documentary or something. There's a part in there where her agent is interviewed, and they're talking about the untimely death of Whitney Houston, okay? Which, you know, I'm a huge fan of Whitney Houston, and what happened was very, very sad. And you guys know how strongly I feel about addiction recovery. As a sober person, I've been sober for 28 years and 9 months, okay? So that whole story to me is so sad, right? And her agent is talking, and they're asking her agent something about like, well, why would none of her family say or do anything? And her family and she was like, why would they? When all of her brothers and her family were driving Mercedes and living in $1 million homes and living off the beef of Whitney Houston, okay? To say no to Whitney Houston would have meant that you were going to stop the gravy train, okay? And that you were going to get fired by Whitney Houston, and you would no longer be driving a Mercedes and living in $1 million house. So of course they weren't going to say anything. And the agent says, and they're just as much of a problem, right? So Colleen Ballinger's family, who is protecting Colleen Ballinger and blaming the victims, are just as disgusting as Colleen Ballinger is, as far as I'm concerned, okay? And this is a prime example. If you can agree with that they are sitting there and they are defending Colleen Ballinger and saying where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? Where's the beef, okay? The beef is in the burger, baby, okay? It's right there in front of your eyes. If Colleen Ballinger thought that she could come out and address these issues and say that there was no truth to it, why hasn't she? With quickness, I mean, literally the day of, okay, the blackface allegations, her attorney, her high-priced attorney that she hired, I don't know why, okay? Her high-priced attorney came out and addressed that literally within 24 hours. Now, these allegations have been out 4 to 5 months now. Where's Colleen Ballinger talking about it? She came out in the ukulele video and addressed it. No, she didn't, okay? If you read in the Word, she addressed it. She took accountability for it, kind of, okay? But she made a joke of it. So where is Colleen Ballinger coming out and fully addressing this if she can prove to the contrary that these allegations are true, okay? She's not, right? So silence speaks volumes for me. You know, silence is very loud in this situation. And this is the thing that Colleen Ballinger and her attorneys really fucked up on. And this is where she should never have hired this attorney, okay? Because if you think about this, the fact that he did come out and speak about the blackface allegations, okay, and say, it's not blackface, it's actually greenface from her doing this Wicked skit in her live show, okay? So it's not blackface. The fact that he came out so quickly, all right, within 24 hours and addressed that situation, all the other things that are being alleged against Colleen Ballinger and they're not coming out and addressing, is like, okay, so you came out and addressed that, so you must not have any proof to the contrary that this isn't. So she really screwed the pooch in coming out and addressing that, because then what that proves is she's coming out and she's addressing the things that she has proof for, but she's not coming out and addressing the things that she doesn't have proof for, okay? So Jessica Ballinger, you're a piece of shit too. And this is a perfect example to me of where people are like, why are you upset with this person for supporting Colleen Ballinger? Why are you supporting this person? Because you are supporting somebody that is a predator, okay? You are supporting somebody that has allegations of all these situations on here. That is a huge issue, okay? And a lot of people, it's not, everybody acts like it's just me coming out. I mean, it's all the victims coming out, okay? It's Swoop. It's all these podcasts are coming out and talking about. I mean, millions of people are talking about at this point, right? Okay. But you want to get in a video and you want to say, we don't believe, who's all of us? Don't put me in that category, okay? And I don't know what she's paying these high-priced attorneys for when they're not doing her no good whatsoever anyway. Okay, so that's the first thing. So then, somebody says something to her about Trent Ballinger. Now, if you don't know about the history of Trent Ballinger is Colleen Ballinger's brother, okay? That supposedly has developmental disabilities and things like that. And he was having inappropriate conversations with Oliver, okay? Who at the time was, I believe, 13 years old, okay? 13 going on 14 years old. And I think in this whole situation, I think all the victims are very, very brave. Oliver is 18 years old right now, okay? And I was sitting there and I was thinking about this when I was watching Adam's video, because Adam, like, reshares the part where he talks about Oliver's allegations and Oliver coming out and telling a story and the thread of the conversations between Oliver and Trent Ballinger and things like that. And I'm watching this, you know, and Adam's talking about how important it is that Oliver came out and shared his story and things like that. And I'm like, and he says something, Adam says something about the implications are profound or something. When you look at Oliver coming out, the implications are this, okay? Number one, there are probably many, 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 many victims of Colleen Ballinger, Trent Ballinger, and Corey DeSoto that have never come out and spoke, okay? Because are too scared to, do not want to share their story because they have seen the other victims get just absolutely demolished online, okay? Number one. Number two, for any other victims out there of maybe not the Ballinger family that have gone through this, you have an 18-year-old kid, okay, that is trying to go to college and live through this, all right, that is coming out and sharing their story. The implications of that are profound. You know, when you want to talk about heroes, I mean, literally, like, I'm just blown away. And like I said this in many videos, we're not talking about 35, 40-year-old people, okay? We're talking about 18, 19, and 20-year-old kids, now 21 with Adam McIntyre, you know? The heaviness that this is on their shoulders is just unbelievable to me, right? They're not hiring, you know, $5,000 an hour attorneys, you know, that have a history of defending people with sexual inappropriate behavior allegations, okay? That lose every case. Oh, this guy is like such a high-priced attorney because he's so good at this, and then you lose every case, okay? You defend sexual inappropriate people, and then you defend them, and then you lose the case. That was really smart, Colleen, for you to hire this person, okay? But if you read articles where he's written, he thinks it's really fun to defend these people, okay? Interesting. And you know what? And that's my opinion on public figure, so just so you know. So anyway, so Oliver has shared his story about Trent Ballinger, okay? And this is part of the story that I think because so many people have focused on Colleen Ballinger and Corey DeSoto, and Adam says this as well, that like Oliver's story has kind of gotten lost a little bit in the mix of things. So this is where Jessica Ballinger comes out and speaks. Now, I think this is interesting, right? Because if you think about it from the context of, like, everybody, like, you know, the H3 podcast, everybody's including Oliver's story. You know, I referenced it. Other people have referenced it and talked about it and things like that, right? Adam has talked about it at length, okay? But the interesting thing about it is, out of, like, all the stories and the people that are being loudest, Oliver's story is probably the one that is the least heard, okay, in all honesty, and probably one that needs to be the most heard, in all honesty. So Jessica Ballinger, who is the sister-in-law of Colleen Ballinger, comes out and finally decides to make a stance against Trent Ballinger, her brother-in-law, okay? What's interesting to me about this, all right, is that it's almost kind of, to me, well, first of all, she makes a very strong stance against her brother-in-law, which we'll get to in just a second, okay? But it almost is kind of, to me, like, what would it be like if the family came out and spoke about this situation? Let's test the waters. And the easiest thing to test the waters over is if we took a stand against one of the family members, what would happen, okay? But be very careful, Jessica, because there's already proof that you're defending Colleen Ballinger and you're coming against Trent Ballinger, okay? Which is this very interesting dichotomy, because you're defending Trent Ballinger, or you're defending Colleen Ballinger against very similar allegations if she was having very similar conversations as Trent Ballinger was having. And you're saying that you won't have Trent Ballinger around your own kids, but you do not believe that Colleen Ballinger is a predator, okay? Which is, I mean, Colleen Ballinger's allegations of what she was having conversations with, asking kids their favorite sexual positions, asking about periods and things like that. The conversations are very similar to the conversations, unless Trent Ballinger was going in and acting as Colleen Ballinger in these group chats, okay? I probably just gave them their defense. Unless that's the case, then the conversations are very similar, all right? Very similar. So how you can come out against your brother-in-law, Trent Ballinger, but then say that you don't have any problem with Colleen Ballinger is interesting to me, okay? It's literally laying two blue pieces of paper that are identical side by side to each other and saying, I don't like that color blue, but I like that color blue. I mean, no, this is what's going on here, okay? Trent Ballinger's not making you any money. Colleen Ballinger is, okay? Your family channel name is literally the Ballinger family, okay? If your channel name was the Smith-Jones family and nobody knew that you were related to Colleen Ballinger, nobody would be fucking watching your channel. And nobody's fucking watching your channel anyway because I looked at your views, okay? Drama channels are ratioing you by crazy, okay? So when you sit here and you want to come out for all this drama channels and talk about how, oh, gossip videos are going to be made about you, hell yes! You came out, you defended a predator. Baby, this is your tape, okay? You asked for it, you got it. This is your fucking tape, Jessica Ballinger, okay? So let's hear what you had to say about your brother-in-law. You said, I absolutely support anyone with incriminating info to bring it to authorities. There is a personal nuance as to his level of developmental delay. A personal nuance. This is interesting wording, okay? As to his level of developmental delay, which he has always kept private. Apparently y'all have too. But it is much more than is known publicly, and I feel awful for sharing even that. But he's not someone that I have had contact with or will have my kids have contact with since learning about his behavior several months ago. The same similar behavior that Colleen Ballinger was engaged in, okay? That you don't have any problem with Colleen Ballinger being around your kids, but you have a problem with Trent Ballinger being around your kids. Gotcha. Okay. We also discussed with the kids at their varying levels of understanding and asked if they ever experienced similar with him, which they had not. So yes, I think anyone with evidence of any crime should of course bring it to authorities and be investigated appropriately. I personally do not have that evidence. Hold on a second. I personally do not have that evidence, but from what has been shared, I can still use an abundance of personal caution with my kids and make choices accordingly. I am sad for Oliver, who has always been a sweet, genuine person who shouldn't have had that emotional burden at that age. I think that's fantastic, okay? That you validated Oliver and Oliver's shared experience in the story, okay? Can you validate the other victim stories who went through very similar situations for years on end with Colleen Ballinger? Have you had similar conversations with your kids about their Aunt Colleen, okay, and that she was having very inappropriate conversations? If your daughter was 12 years old and Colleen Ballinger had a conversation with her asking her about her first period, not sitting down and saying, hey, as Aunt Colleen, like, I want to talk to you about this because your mother didn't have this conversation with you, but like, hey, what was your first period like? What would you feel about that conversation, okay? If your 14-year-old child was having a conversation with Aunt Colleen as they had ice cream and she said, what's your favorite sexual position? How would you feel about that, Jessica Ballinger? Would you be okay with that? With your 14-year-old child? How about your 13-year-old child? How about your 15-year-old child? How about your fucking 22-year-old child? Would you have an okay conversation with that? How about your 25-year-old child? Would you be okay with your 25-year-old child having a conversation with their aunt about their favorite sexual conversation or favorite sexual position? I am 51 years old and I have never had a conversation with any of my fucking family members, okay, about my favorite sexual position. So you're okay with it, okay, with Colleen Ballinger, but you're not okay with it with Trent Ballinger. And the excuse is that he's developmentally delayed, okay? Well, what's your excuse with Colleen Ballinger? It's just disgusting to me. I mean, you guys are like the Duggars. You literally are like the Duggars 2.0. Okay, and not in a good way. Is this gonna stop? This is gonna stop. Hold on a second. My poor husband, I did not realize this has been going on for so long. He's probably losing his mind over there. Okay, so then let's go on to, oh, look at this picture of me and my husband. Isn't that so cute? Okay, so then let's go on and let's look at these comments that Adam McIntyre put up. Okay, so this is a comment that I can't even see if I can read this. She put up, and they put over on the Colleen Ballinger snark, okay? It is sad to me how caught up people get in online gossip. Gossip is like, did you hear that Ben Affleck is dating Jennifer J-Lo again? Okay, that's like online gossip. Online gossip is like, did you see who Selena Gomez was having dinner with at Catch LA? Okay? Gossip is not your sister-in-law having inappropriate sexual conversations with minors in group chats. That's not online gossip, okay? If it was, trust me, Jessica. Trust me, Jesse, okay? I'd be flipping a fucking fan and singing a song, okay? And I'd probably be singing, Jesse's Girl, but I'm not. Because this is a serious situation. A more serious situation than you're willing to give it, to grant its seriousness to, okay? So she goes on, and this is what they always do, and I've talked about this in videos. I am so fucking tired of this, okay? I am so fucking tired of hearing about gossip, cancel culture, and mob mentality. Cry me a fucking river. Every time somebody, it's like JoJo Siwa and I'm so tired of everybody giving JoJo Siwa free passes, okay? JoJo Siwa, who's driving Ferraris, Lamborghinis, cars with her own, and she's hanging out with Shane Dawson, James Charles, Colleen Ballinger. I don't know, okay? Y'all want to defend her and be like, she's so young, she's worth like $60 million, y'all. She don't have adults around her. She don't have adults around her saying this is bad for your brand, JoJo, let alone what you're thinking. You know, people want to say, well, maybe JoJo has gone through the same thing. Maybe she has. I hope to God JoJo Siwa hasn't lived through this too, and 10 years from now comes out and is like, damn, like I didn't realize what the Ballingers were doing to me. I hope she doesn't. I hope that that's not her experience. I don't wish that on another human being, okay? But as of today, as a public figure, JoJo Siwa is not coming out. She is defending Colleen Ballinger. She is defending James Charles, which we're going to talk about in just a second, okay? She's defending, she just did a video with Shane Dawson. You guys, I mean, the excuses people make, and then it's mob mentality, and it's, don't be part of the mob then. Then be part of this girl that says all of us don't believe that she's a predator. Believe that. Is that mob mentality? Is that mob mentality? Okay, okay, Jesse. So then she comes out and she says, this is talking about JoJo in defense of James Charles, okay? It is sad to me how caught up people get on online gossip. JoJo is a lovely person. She has a huge heart. I don't doubt that. A declaration, she has such a huge heart that she's so forgiving of predators, okay? And I wonder, like, you know, let's just be honest about this, okay? JoJo Siwa is a huge role model for the LGBTQIA plus youth, okay? How much of that population do you believe has been, had predatory behavior happen to them? And she's siding with predators. Do you think those people that don't look up to JoJo Siwa are being like, I don't understand how she can stand by here, and like I love JoJo because I thought she was such a kind, caring person, and she was somebody that I looked up to as a safe place, and now she's supporting James Charles, who was talking to minors, and people are saying there's no proof to that. What the fuck do you mean there's no proof to that? I made an hour and 19-minute video the other night proving all the proof to you guys, okay? I had this chick that wrote me, I don't know, 2 emails that had 9 paragraphs each, and all of these comments on my videos. I'm not a fan of James Charles. I'm not a fan of James Charles. Please address this. Please address this. And I address it. And then she turns around and writes me an email and says, you got me. I'm a super fan of James Charles. I used to have fantasies that I was laying in bed and I was in his walls giving him spiritual guidance. This is the mob mentality that you're dealing with, okay? This is the fucked up mentality of the people that follow these people that defend them, okay? They think they're in the walls of James Charles giving him spiritual guidance. Please. Okay. She has a huge heart, a dedication to bringing you a joy to others, and absolutely brilliant mind. James wasn't there. I haven't seen him in years, but I wish him well. We have entered into a new sad era where it is more profitable to complain about and destroy other humans than to lift them up. You mean it's more profitable for you to prey on the vulnerability of others, like your sister-in-law did, and like your brother-in-law did? Okay, that's what's more profitable, right? Okay. The best quote I have heard about this experience is, if you have a problem with me, call me. If you don't have my number, then you don't know me well enough to have a problem with me, okay? Whatever. Instead of being concerned about, baby, listen, you just signed up for the Peter Monn I'm coming after you train, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, as a family channel, you are my next target. Seriously, I'm gonna be watching your videos left and right, and anything that you do that I think is inappropriate, I am calling out, okay? And no, I am not a mom mentality. I am one drama channel, but you're the next person I'm coming out for, because you are a family channel with kids, okay? Protecting a predator. Protecting multiple predators at this point, okay? James Charles, too. I don't have your number and I don't want your fucking number. How about that for a quote, okay? I wouldn't call you if you're the last person on earth with the last tank of gas and the last orange to eat, okay? I wouldn't fucking call you because I wouldn't want your hand to lift me up, all right? So why don't you use that as a fucking quote, okay? Here's a quarter. Go call somebody that cares. There's a quote for you, baby, okay? So it goes on and she says, instead of being concerned about all the people JoJo, perhaps consider supporting JoJo, perhaps consider that they do know her on a human level rather than a parasocial one. I do see that you are upset about all the things you know about strangers, so I do applaud your decision to unsubscribe. Our intention is to provide a happy place where we use our kids and exploit them for channel, okay? And if this wasn't that for you, then I'm glad you are aware of that and have made that boundary for yourself. I do really encourage you to look at your engagement with gossip culture with the same scrutiny, though. It is likely having a more negative impact on you than you seem to realize. Thank you for all your years of support. Okay, well, that was a really backhanded piece of bullshit is what it was, okay? So since you want to talk about this is a happy place, hold on a second. I want to go look at your channel for a second, okay? I want to see this happy place. And I looked at this last night. The Ballinger family, hold on a second. The Ballinger family, okay, here we are, Ballinger family. Your channel has 2.2 million subscribers on it. And your last video from 2 days ago got 22,000 views. Girl, you got fucking ratioed by me, okay? And I literally have not even a tenth of what you have in subscribers, okay? You're getting ratioed by cat smiling fucking videos, okay? Oh wait, let's look at these thumbnails on here, shall we? Okay, the first one is a kid. I'm not gonna show it on here actually. The second one is a kid, Jacob's birthday special. The third one is your husband with 2 kids. The fourth one is an infant child. The fifth one is a child with your husband. The sixth one is your husband and a child. The seventh one, okay, it's every single one of these. So this is a happy place where you use kids for exploitation. Literally every single one of these is a kid's picture, okay? That's exploitation. Have you asked your children if have they signed consent as 18-year-old adults on whether or not they want their image used? You know, in the state of Illinois, they just passed a law that when a child turns 18 years old, that you have got to keep money set aside that you are paying them for being in their videos. Okay, this law is going to be passed in California soon too, okay? That in the state of Illinois, they just passed a law that if you're using your children for videos, Instagram, things like that, that you have got to set money aside that you're paying them that is theirs the day that they turn 18 years old, okay? So they are not being put in vulnerable situations where they have to sue you later and emancipate themselves emancipate themselves before they turn 18, or once they turn 18, sue you for that money, okay? That you've literally used by trips to Disney, okay? That you are writing off those trips to Disney, okay? People will say to me all the time, they're like, well, you can't write off a whole trip to Disney. The fuck you can't, okay? You think that there aren't accountants that let people get away with that bullshit? That you take your family of 7 to Disney World and you vlog the entire thing while you're there, the hotel room and everything? Yes, you can probably write off about 75% of that. Trust. Okay, so let's go on and look at the rest of these things that she puts out here. Hold on a second, I gotta pull these up because these were from Adam McIntyre's videos. By the way, thank you, Adam, for making this video while you're in the middle of your move. Adam, who keeps the story alive, which I think is really important. She responds to this one person and says, I wasn't responding to you there, but now you will probably get a good idea of how this works. I was responding to someone who was making an accusation about Colleen, saying that I haven't seen proof of their accusation. They'll likely screenshot my response, or someone will. They will make a clickbait gossip video about me and probably make up a ton of things that they believe, I think, without any actual... I'm actually reading your comments from you, Jessica. I'm not making up anything. I'm reading them straight from you, and they're not good, okay? Just so you know. I think without any actual info from me, they will get a ton of views and make probably more views than your family bullshit channel. Claims about my reputation. They will start a mob of people who come here and tell all... I didn't ask... Listen, don't go to her with mob mentality, don't. Are you guys asking people not to come for the victims? Have you gotten one statement? Have you gotten one statement and has Colleen Ballinger gotten one video, one statement, one tweet? Have you, Jessica? Has Trent? Has your fucking husband? Has Rachel? Has anybody gotten one statement and said, do not come for the victims and send them hate? Oh, I think that Colleen Ballinger kind of threw that out in her ukulele video, which we weren't even supposed to take that seriously, right? So, okay, so she said that in one ukulele video. Well, I'm saying right now, do not send these people any hate. Do not send these people any mom mentality. Do not cancel them. Do what is in your right mind based on the information that's put out there, and you make your own decisions, okay? They will get a ton of views and make claims about my reputation. They will start a mob of people who come here and to all of our socials attacking us. They will attack anyone who supports us and encourage more people to attack us. That's the mob mentality. No, don't attack them. For me, if it was me, and it was, I don't follow them, but I just unfollow them is what I would do. I wouldn't have any part in it anymore. That would be my decision. But you do what you need to do, okay? I'm not going to tell you what to do. That's the mob mentality. It's happening and happening ferociously, and people are profiting from it and destroying good people in the process. I thought you said that you wouldn't even let your own kids around Trent Ballinger, your brother-in-law. So, wait a second. So, are you sending Trent Ballinger mob mentality by saying that you wouldn't have your own kids around Trent Ballinger that has the exact similar allegations as Colleen Ballinger? So you are actually sending mob and hate to Trent Ballinger, somebody that you describe as being developmentally disabled, okay, or delayed. You're sending hate mentality, which, first of all, okay, even though that's a huge issue, right, but you're sending hate and mob mentality to a family member, but then you're telling everybody else that we shouldn't be doing the same thing, but you just did it to your brother-in-law? Girl, you need to get your shit straight, okay? So then Adam McIntyre, he's reading this other one. I am so confused. I did not tell you to leave, but I will always support anyone's decision to unsubscribe or unplug for a while. Unplug for a while? Baby, this ain't that Real Housewives. You ain't been being put on pause, okay, Dorinda Medley. I support your decision. If you are happy here, then please stay. If not, please find a space that brings you peace and joy. Do not come here and accuse anyone of being a terrible individual. It's your comment section, so actually anybody can come there and say whatever the fuck they want, okay? This is not a place for that. Okay, Jacqueline Hill. Edited to add, I just saw that part about you thinking I like to comment about you specifically having a mom mentality. I did not interpret that as being about you. It was a response to my comment, and I was under the impression that they were responding to my mention of gossip, not you directly. This is not gossip, sweetheart, okay? Y'all need family therapy is what you need. Then she says, I don't want you to feel like you are getting eaten alive. I think people are just disagreeing with you. If anyone attacks you, I will delete their comments. I don't have any idea, she's talking about James Charles. I don't have any idea what James has apologized for because I don't get involved in that stuff. Bull fucking shit, you don't, okay? You know enough about mom mentality, cancel culture, JoJo Siwa, Colleen Ballinger, Trent Ballinger, but you're telling me you don't know about the allegations of James Charles when literally people are throwing James Charles right up against your sister-in-law? Bullshit. Because I have not seen how exaggerated and extreme it can all be, mostly for other people to generate clickbait and attention. Oh, wait a second, okay? I never in a million years, don't you fucking put that on me, I never in a million years asked James Charles to dip into the DMs of minors and ask them for armpit pictures, okay? Don't you dare put that on me or anybody else out there in the world, okay? That we were trying to get clicks and views off that bullshit. That is an excuse for your sister-in-law? Are you saying that we ask your sister-in-law to ask people about their first periods and fucking sexual positions so that we could get clicks and views off of it? You think that I wouldn't rather sit in a fucking video and talk about Jeffree Star's new fucking launch than talk about your sister-in-law's sick fucking behavior? You are a fucking sicko, okay? I am so tired of this bullshit. Oh my God. But all I'm hearing from you is that he's apologized multiple times for something and now JoJo is friends with him. That sounds like a very normal human response. We should all aim to be more forgiving as a society. You are gonna need to go watch my hour and 19-minute video. James Charles made a video called Holding Myself Accountable, took the video down, okay? Where he apologizes to his victims. Something that your sister-in-law and brother-in-law have not done, okay? He then took the video down, basically retracting any apology. He then came out in a video called Open Conversation. He reiterates it, but then he blames it on a channel called Deaf Noodles and says that there were all these fake allegations, and that's what he falls back on. Forgetting the 2 to 3 allegations that were actually real. I don't know how many people have to be hurt, okay? 1, 2, 3, 10. What's enough, okay, of how many people need to be hurt? Then years go by, and there's all these other allegations, and nobody knows what's true and what's not anymore because there's so many allegations, okay? And James Charles comes out in an article called by the Cosmopolitan. I'm giving you the very short, condensed version, Jessica, okay? Since you're too much of an idiot to do the research yourself. He comes out in a Cosmopolitan article called Please Uncancel Me and says that he's still dipping into the DMs of people, okay? Or talking to people in DMs and asking for validation of their age. Because James Charles at 24 years old is still talking to people that are young enough that could be looking like they're under the age of 18, which is 17 years old, 364 days, okay? So I don't know who James Charles is talking to at 24 years old that is 17 years old and 364 days old, okay? But apparently he is talking to those people that look young enough that they could be under the age of 18. Then just recently he was in a TikTok with somebody live and asking them for verification of their age. So what are we forgiving James Charles for? Please enlighten me again, okay? Oh my God. Babe, I am so sorry. You do not deserve this today. I absolutely support anyone with incriminating... Oh, this is where she talks about the Trump Ballinger thing again. Adam McIntyre, thank you for continuing to talk about this in videos. Adam McIntyre, on your 21st birthday and during your move that you were forced to make because of the safety that has been compromised, your safety that has been compromised as a result of being a victim that has come out and talked about Colleen Ballinger, I want to applaud you for continuing to keep this story alive. And there are many of us that will stand by you, Becky, Oliver, and the other victims that will continue to talk about this story until Colleen Ballinger comes out and she addresses it appropriately. Because the story needs to stay talked about. And Jessica Ballinger, thank you for being part of that. Because you've allowed us to keep the story alive. And the story needs to stay alive until it is addressed appropriately. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.